The following episode was recorded at Banff Session 2026, which is celebrating 70 years of architects and interior designers coming together to share ideas, culture, strategy, and this year's theme was origin stories. In this episode, I'm joined by Sam Malberg. He's known as a brick artist using Lego as his medium. He was one of the finalists on season 4 of Lego Masters USA and was one of the only Canadians on that episode that season. He now works as a professional brick artist, taking on unique commissions, live builds at conventions, corporate events, and school STEM workshops. I'm your host, Kelso Brennan, and I'm genuinely curious about strategy, business, architecture, design, and talking with the people behind big, bold ideas. Sam, hi. Welcome to this podcast here at Banff Session. And you've got a very interesting background that I learned about from this event and experiencing it at the VIP dinner as well. Groovy Bones Bricks.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about how you're getting into Lego and turning it into art.
Well, so I was introduced to Lego, as most kids were, at a very young age, and then I just kind of never stopped. Was really the way that it progressed for me.
You're doing some extremely complex Lego art. I'll call it art. Do you call it art?
I do. Well, that's something that I am really kind of pushing towards. I think, and I think
It truly is. It's an art form.
It's a perfect blend of sculpture and puzzle, because you can
Perfect way to put it.
you can build anything you want, but there is a finite number of pieces and ways to put them together. And the beauty is in pushing those limits and finding ways to put pieces together that make something more than
For the
right?
audience that might be listening and watching, and Aiden couldn't superimpose here, but what's one of the more complex pieces and size? Well, let's talk about maybe quantities of bricks.
My joke is always, I've got 10 fingers, and then after getting to that point, I lose track of how many pieces are
So
in a
there's
build.
like
So
thousands of
it's like
thousands.
thousands, and you can ballpark, but I think that putting a piece count on anything that I build is you do that for a retail kit. You do that for the benefit of
The
somebody.
Death Star.
Yeah, right.
The architects are arriving in Banff. Hey! Help build the Lego podcast booth.
This set is not real and cannot be found in stores anywhere.
But when we're creating a piece, it's just like, okay, this is something that I have in my brain, and I want to put it out into a physical reality. I'm not the only person that does this, right? There are people across the world that are hobbyists and fans of Lego. The in community acronym is AFOL, or Adult Fan of Lego, right? And I think that there's something to be said about pushing the term brick artist and making sure that people know that this isn't just a fan of a company and like a toy line, but it is an artistic medium and a way to express yourself, right? So making that kind of step away from the set count, the number of pieces in a build, how to make instructions for it, how to replicate it. Step away from that side.
What's unique about yours in particular that I've observed is different from artists around the world is that the art that you're doing is local. Some of it's local artists that you're replicating, like an Indigenous one that I got to see a piece there, a large art installation in the school. And then, of course, the Tell Us World of Science, which was such a big draw for today and over this weekend in Banff because of Douglas Cardinal,
Of course.
who was the architect on
Yeah.
that.
I mean, it all kind of comes back to me for, write what you know, build what you know. It should be an extension of yourself, right? And so a lot of these pieces are things that, it's the community that I'm interacting with, and this community that I'm been growing up around.
Tell me about one thing that was interesting that I got you did here for the Alberta Arts Association of Architects. It was their emblem or their logo, but it was
crowdsourced in a sense. Tell me a bit about how it was built.
So that along with those other mosaic pieces that you mentioned, they're all kind of done the same way, right? So when it's a way to kind of have a community art piece that's built together. I'll like do the design of the background and kind of make little sections of it, and then get people to build different sections of it, and they put it together. And with the tiger, the Indigenous art piece that you mentioned that I did earlier this week, and even with this AAA logo, I try to have these kind of vast swaths of color, but allow each individual to make their own patterns and
That's what I
textures
loved.
within it.
So what I observed
Yeah.
was I came up to the table. There were little buckets of different colored pieces of Lego. And then there was a little, I'll call it a map, almost like cartography of here's what you try to have to build. So you get your base plate, and there a whole bunch of other people around the table that are building and adding to the collective mosaic, the parts. But how do you get into designing that in the first place?
It's more just, for these things, it's a bit of a step back for me, and it's kind of setting the stage for other people to create something themselves, and then create something as a collective and as a group, right? So the color swaths of the big chunks when they're making their own patterns, that's I want to make sure that I'm designing those spaces in the pieces to be something that'll read visually at the end, right? So with the tiger mosaic, it comes down to part selection a lot of the time, right? So I'm kind of making sure that the palette that people are able to work with will be different between colors, right? So the green pieces are maybe a bit more angled than the black, which is going to be the stripes of the tiger. I want to make sure that those pieces feel a bit more aggressive, a bit more pointed than maybe like the softer bluer tones or something like that, right? So it basically it leads to a sense of collective ownership over the piece.
Of course,
from
like
everybody.
I built that, and
Yeah.
and like I was at the VIP dinner, although I didn't place a single piece of brick. I watched it come together, and I didn't know what it was going to be. That was for me, was the interesting part was I didn't know what you were building, but I did know that you'd been commissioned for this event to do something unique, and I was excited to see it. And so when it was unveiled at the VIP dinner, I was like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It's always great to see people that maybe even aren't participating kind of guess at what it's going to be. It's
Yeah.
always like, oh, is this
It
going to
had
be
a lot of dimensionality that I didn't
Yeah.
expect. It wasn't just like this flat piece of art. It had a lot of different components that were popping off, and it gave it some really true depth to it. I loved it. It was actually very unique. And I noticed that you had a set of the Space and Science Center, and you're able to present it to Douglas Cardinal. Was he signing it for you? Or
So this was I did a run of kits. It's kind of something that I do in my business is I design kits for companies, organizations, whatever, to distribute or sell, do what they want with.
and why would they typically get them? Is it because it's like a building that they've done, or is it their office?
It really depends. Sometimes it's an organization like the AAA who, for this conference, commissioned a run of these little drafting table sets that were given out. Or sometimes it's, I did one for a local coffee shop, and it was a series of train cars.
Cool.
So it's not necessarily architectural focused all the time, but it's kind of whatever they want. For the TELUS World of Science, they got it as a gift to give out to their donors for longtime supporters of
Oh,
the
great.
TELUS World of Science as a nonprofit organization. And they wanted to give these kits out as a little, thank you
Yeah.
to these people that have supported them over the years. So, it was a wonderful project to work on. And it took so much time just kind of walking around the building, walking around the exterior, looking at various satellite imagery, trying to get all these curves. And, Douglas Cardinal's original design is so natural. And so, there's all these wonderful curves, and everything kind of fits in together just perfectly. Yeah, but it turns out Lego bricks are squares.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
there's
That's
a
right. You're
lot
like kind
of-
of that Minecraft world of,
Yeah.
it's like how do you turn this into something circular or
Yeah,
something?
and even the other side, the newer side of the building, the Aurora expansion by Dialogue Architects, has so many different compounding angles, and it's kind of this. It looks to me like an iceberg or a glacier, which I think is kind of what they're going for too. And it kind of just adds this additional context to, there's this spaceship that landed in the middle of Edmonton, Alberta, 30 years ago. And, but now it's like, okay, well, it's got context of being in this ice field of, in Alberta. But all of these little design challenges were, working with that limited parts palette that Lego has, and, pushing the boundaries and trying to make these square shapes round and make the round shapes on an angle. That the top piece is always
Yeah.
the toughest. It's kind of an oblong.
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? Yeah. I oddly enough, at Whistler in Whistler, BC, I took part in a multi-day educational training session to become a Lego certified strategic planner, and it's called Lego Strategic Play. And so you use Lego to get the ideas out. And so I got my certification a number of years ago, and we've used it in strategic planning to creatively think out solutions and then bring the pieces together and clip them together. At the beginning of this session, we have a duck. You don't know it's a duck, but you open it up, and everybody tends to build their duck in a different way. But you get the orange, yellow, and the little black pieces in the eyes. People tend to do like a 2D version, or some of them doing a 3D version.
Yeah.
You always get that it's a duck, but I always found it interesting that people come to a different creative path when they're using the product.
Exactly. It's so intuitive too, right? Like, if you went through the LSP training, you obviously know that mind to hand connection is so strong, right? And getting people to kind of release their inhibitions, I guess.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
Especially, I say AFOL now, but
yeah.
right, the adults who love. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I had never heard the term before. So, but I'm one of those people. Just so you know, I've got sets all over my basement. Although my son, who's 17, tends to build them, but I had a fascination. Maybe when I could start to afford more and bigger sets and whatnot, I had become ambitious that as a kid, like I would have loved to have this. And now I was like, hey, I have a deal, buddy. I buy them, you build them. He's like, yeah, I'm in. It's like the best. But I get as much pleasure out of seeing them come to life as he does, especially with how, sort of fast he builds them, or sometimes slowly, like, multi-thousand pieces that might take a little bit more time to go through and come back to them.
This episode is supported by High Signs. I know not everybody likes commercials, but I do want to make a note that as the managing director of High Signs, we're here to help support architects and interior designers. And I've been fortunate to work on projects in Reykjavik, Iceland, Hawaii, Montana, Banff, Jasper, Calgary, Edmonton, and beyond. We like to focus on placemaking, wayfinding, and architectural signage. Our design team help with sign planning, content schedules, mapping, engineering, fabrication, and installation. Whether it's a public art installation or campus wayfinding, we're here to help. High Signs. Let's build something great together.
Yeah, I'm not usually much of like a Lego set guy myself. I'm more parts focused. But I also have a thing where I can't not finish a set. Like I can't walk
Yeah,
away
you
from
gotta do
something
it.
half
Yeah.
completed. So like I think I got like the Millennium Falcon, like the big, like the UCS one, the good one. Yeah. And it was 16 hours to build
What
it.
can you say about mega bricks?
Mega blocks. I
See, I
can
said it
say
wrong too.
that they were a Canadian company, so that was great.
Oh, interesting. I did
think
not
back
know
in the
that.
day. Well, I think they were.
I don't know.
I
I'm
feel like
not
they had
sure.
a headquarters in like.
All I know is that in my household, mega blocks is a curse word.
So this is where I kind of if this gets into the AFOL community, this podcast will get
Destroyed?
well, they'll hunt me down for this take, but I have to think that there's a thing called like a Lego purist, right? And it's like I'm only going to use the parts that Lego produced as a company. Those are the only things that I'm going to use in my own creations, and that's fine, and that's great, and that's part of the puzzle, and that's part of the challenge. And I think that challenging yourself is great. At the same time, I don't think that you should put unnecessary limits on your art, right? So I will sometimes see a Mega Bloks
You
piece.
delicately passed by that one. That was pretty good.
Well, I think that, there's some elements that I think Lego will never make, or there's some Mega Bloks elements that are just so similar, but just a little bit different to a Lego piece, that throwing one of those into your creation kind of might elevate it a little bit for a really discerning eye to say,
interesting. Okay.
like, oh, hey, they did something different.
Yeah. How did they find that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, my wife is not really a Lego person, but she's an art person, and she's kind of mentioned to me a few times, like, what do you think like the Lego people would think if I did like a multimedia project involving a lot of Lego and brought it to a Lego convention? And I'm like, they probably would hate it, but I think it'd be really cool. And I think that we shouldn't limit ourselves.
Well, I don't think you should limit yourself for sure, because the creativity aspect of it too is like, once you've purchased the blocks, those are your blocks to build
Exactly.
something of whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah.
it's taken you to some interesting places. Let's just say here, for instance,
Yes.
the Banff Springs Hotel. Your wife must like that aspect of it.
Yes, but well, and she's an instructor at NAIT. She teaches architectural technology, so she's
It's used widely by a lot of architecture firms and more than that, of course. I can't even think about all the applications. There's so many, but
well, it's a wonderful tool for everything.
where
Right?
else
It's
has it taken you?
Well, I guess the what if we're talking origin stories here. I was always a fan of Lego. I built and posted my creations online since like 2008. And it was something a hobby that I always had. I kind of kept in the background. And the thing about posting your Lego creations online is eventually the casting department for Lego Masters will reach out to you. It's kind of a thing. It was December 2022, and I was.
Do you know what
working.
day and time it was?
No.
Okay.
No, buddy.
Okay.
Well, somebody messaged me on Instagram and said, "Hey, would love for you to apply to Lego Masters," and I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm busy. It's December. It's the holidays. I've got so much going on with work and whatever. So I just kind of left the guy on red for a little while. Went through the holidays talking to some family about it. And they're like, you should do it. You should just, what do you have to lose? So, okay, I guess. And so January rolls around. I go back to work and I realize, wait a sec, I hate my job. You're right. So I call the guy back up. Sure, let's talk about it. We went through the interview process. And then I was on this TV show called Lego Masters, which is like, for people that haven't seen it, it's like Master Chef, but with Lego, right?
Our sound was boing.
We made a giant grandfather clock. It has a cuckoo bird that has fallen out of the top that is running around in circles. There's a team of green gear gremlins that are working hard to try to put the clock back together again.
And trying to catch the cuckoo that has fallen out.
When I look at it, I just get mesmerized. The way the gears move at different rates, the way that this ticking back and forth is imperfect really plays into your sound because it is imperfect.
Yeah, you're clearly a team that likes to gamble, to take chances. I mean, to even just conceptualize a model of this size and then actually make it happen, it is an impressive model that you should be extremely proud of.
It was a great time. I went on it with my mom, of all people. She didn't really build Lego ever before, but she was able to take potentially up to 8 weeks off of work.
What an experience to be able to do that and to do it, with your family as well.
It's great, right? I mean, like as adults, we spend less and less time with our parents, right?
Course,
so being able to have, a bit of...
I've seen the graphs.
Yeah.
I feel the pain as well, especially with family that's at a distance, like remote. So,
yeah. So it was kind of this, opportunity to have a fun kind of,
yeah, that's amazing.
Mother-son bonding experience. And we did really well on it. We built some crazy big things. And I had a blast. And then we got back from filming the show, and that was the point where I was like, all right, like, I know people...
This is a career.
I know people that do this professionally, and I feel like I have the talent and the drive and supportive enough family that, I can try it out for at least a little while.
Well,
and it's been going well ever
do
since.
you get preferential treatment in terms of pick a brick and where you're purchasing from? Because I see you have vast quantities.
I do. Unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay.
I
wasn't sure how that would work.
There's a program called the Lego Certified Professional Program. And this is guys like Nathan Sawaya and the Art of the Brick, that you might have seen, or Brickman, who's the host of Lego Masters New Zealand, Ryan McNaught. Graham Diamond is the other LCP in Canada, and Robin Zather is an LCP from Canada who started the program. So these guys, I know some of them, they're friendly, we're good friends actually, some of them. And we always kind of joke that like those guys are the certified professionals and I'm just an uncertified unprofessional. So yeah, I get I don't get the discounts from Lego. I don't get any kind of special access. I just kind of
understood,
source it out where I can and make it happen.
There's two things I think about that I'd like to share. One is in the art in my son's bedroom. And so when he moved into this house, he probably was about 9 years old or so. And my wife designed his room. She's an interior designer. And she's got two things, and it's the patent for the Lego man and the patent for the Lego brick. Of course, just printed out into frames. find those so unique. The patent pictures for it, it's exactly what it is today.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And then the other one is the Lego minifigures that made it to outer space.
Yeah.
I don't remember the specific details, but they were like, they went up into orbit. I think they were either still there or potentially would come down, but apparently they're considered the most valuable Lego pieces that
Well,
exist.
there's that one, and there's the moon rock Lego piece too.
Oh, the moon rock. I don't know that one.
I'm not 100% sure on the details.
Okay, so we'll fact check it after.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm pretty sure there's they've got a piece of an asteroid and they carved a Lego brick into it.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's awesome. I love that.
yeah, and it was like touring around Lego stores.
Yeah.
It was great.
In Billund, in Denmark, where it was founded.
Yeah.
I talked about this because I'm in the signage industry. Sorry, and then Modulex, of course, turned. Is a signed company, but Modulex was founded by the Lego family, and then
it was.
They used architectural bricks. If you Google like vintage Lego Modulex, there's these kits, but they're actually miniature, and they were designed for architects. They've got different colors, and they've got Modulex AS box on them.
It's super sought after in the Lego community too. There's very few direct connection points, but for those people that are big purists, they'll figure it out and they'll figure out ways to kind of.
For sure. I see the kits for sale on eBay sometimes, and I'm like, I wonder how authentic it is or not.
Yeah.
But I probably have to get my hands on some of those.
I had a friend that went to Billund and the Lego house and did the inside tour, whatever. And he was like, I want to go to the Modulex factory. And I was like,
it's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore.
It's
a signage thing. And he was like, I'll just try it out. And he went to the signage company.
Yeah.
And just kind of like waited around, like knocked on the door.
Oh, really? Well, if you want next time, I know the CEO and the owner. His name's Katil.
Okay.
And we're around the same age. He's a fantastic guy. So he's now acquired it. And I have his cell phone number if you ever want to make the connection.
Maybe. We'll talk later. But they were very nice to this guy that just kind of showed up outside of there.
Nice. Well, I think it's probably part of the overall appeal there too, is that very friendly, in Denmark, and they have Modulex itself as a signage company has global operations, and I admire Katil and his expansion that he's been doing as well, and they've got a great company as well. And I'm here promoting, architecture, of course, and interior design, and I'm from High Signs, and yet, Modulex does great things and great products, but I really love the origin story of their name and the bricks, and I just really love it a lot. It's a lot. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a fascinating evolution for sure.
Yeah. So, all I can say is, you've got some amazing pieces and some amazing stories I want to share. Groovy Bones Bricks. So the @ symbol for Instagram. Do you have a channel for YouTube?
I do. I've got a YouTube channel. I was posting videos, kind of like when I first started this kind of endeavor of like, I'm going to do this full time. I had started a YouTube channel and I was just throwing stuff at the wall, and I was like, seeing what sticks. There's a lot that really stuck, and a lot of like reviewing like Lego Star Wars droids was making me money on YouTube.
Oh,
And I was like,
interesting.
oh, okay.
Really?
Like, we're going off on this direction. And then it kind of got to the point where I'm like, I'm not finding joy in this. So I just kind of let my YouTube channel die.
So your primary contact for people to follow and have a look at your work.
Yeah, Groovy Bones on Instagram is my main, like what I consider my artist profile, which is where I post the creations that mean things to me. Groovy Bones Bricks is where it can be found professionally.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, Sam. And thank you so much for spending the time today to talk with me and share your story.
Great to be here.
And
Thanks for
hope you
having me.
enjoy the mountains for the rest of the session.
Absolutely.
Thank you.